Hi everyone, this is Michael, and I'm here today to show you Volunteer at AW, the new AssentWorks volunteer and member tracking, task tracking system. Now, the easiest place to see Volunteer at AW for the first time is going to AssentWorks.pbworks.com, where you'll find a reference to all of our different workspace areas, including down here, Volunteer at AW. You can access Volunteer at AW from a number of different manners, and you can go from a workstation, iPad, your mobile device, whatever, and all you have to do is type in assentworks.ca/volunteer to get from any other device. Once you're at the site, the first thing you need to do is register for an account. And really just put in a username, a password, a full name that we'll recognize you by, an email, and a phone number, a contact information where you'd like to get SMS alerts in the future, and a Twitter ID if you have one. And also, we recommend that you add a little picture up here. This will be your avatar on the site. Doesn't necessarily need to be a picture of you, but something that will help recognize you by. So we'll just put something in here. Once you hit register, you'll be sent an email actually verifying your email address. And then once you have that, you'll need to go in and click on it to be validated. This will bring you to the Verify Account page, and it'll notify you that your account is waiting administrator approval. Once the administrators have approved your account, you'll receive an email back saying that your account has been activated and you can now log into the system. Here you're going to simply type in your login name and actually see the main page. From here you'll notice a couple things. There'll be a status bar here, which is your current level, and every time you do an activity it'll be worth points, and your points will increase your level, and you can basically challenge yourself to leveling against the other volunteers. You can see not only how many hours you've put in, but the complexity and the outcome of the tasks. You can actually modify your profile up top here. And you can log out. On the side here, again, the menu system is built to work on a number of different platforms, so that's why it's formatted the way it is at the moment. But right now you can check open tasks, you can add a task yourself, view completed tasks that require action, like voting on the most valuable volunteer, which I'll explain later. You can check out the leaderboard for current active volunteers and your stats. On the task detail page, we'll be able to see the identifier. And the identifier up here in the window can be cut, copy, and pasted and emailed to anyone you like. And they will be requested to log in, and then they can see the details as well. We have the name, the title of the task, and then a description. In this case, we require an auto drain, a customization to the air compressor, so we'll not get condensate sitting in the bottom of it all the time. There's the maximum points, the hours estimated, a badge, an award provided for being involved with this task. And you can see down here you can submit your hours, and you can type in whatever number you want. I'll ask it, say we got submitted successfully, and to edit it you can simply edit your hours. You can only submit once for these tasks at the moment, but the whole point here is that you keep track yourself and you can submit your total hours before the project is closed. In order to close a project, to finalize it, a task owner must take ownership to finalize the task. So you can actually apply for ownership here, and this will be approved by the administrator. So a number of people can apply for ownership, and the member council will assign a volunteer to take ownership to close it. But of course, all volunteers who've contributed will still receive effort and reward for the hours they've put in. Currently, this task status is pending. We can invite other users to see it via email, and they'll be sent this link. And then you'll see any other users involved or comments specific to this task. Once we started working on a task, we submitted hours, added our relevant comments, and applied for ownership if we want to close the task. we need to wait for the membership council to approve the ownership and allow it to be closed. So at this point, we'll receive an email once this has occurred. Once our ownership is approved, we can go into the task, verify our hours contributed. I'm just going to add an hour. And now as a task owner, I can complete the task. Again, it will wait for a min approval, which will send an email once approved, and then it will allow us to vote on the most valuable volunteer. In this case, because there are no other users involved, that should be pretty straightforward. Once your task has been approved, you'll receive an email explaining that you've earned your points for the task, that you've awarded any badges associated with it, and you'll be able to vote on your most valuable volunteer for the task. And this is a way for members to award each other special recognition for those people who go a little above and beyond to get the task done. So by clicking on this, you'll be able to select your most valuable volunteer, vote, and now the task is complete. Once your task is complete and you've voted on your most valuable volunteer, at any time you can go back to completed tasks and see the status of that solution, of that task. You know, have you voted? It will say yes or no, and it will say whether or not it's been awarded. In this case, it has. At this time, once there's been a completed task, you can check out your own stats at the bottom, and I'll see your level, the points awarded, and how far you need to go before the end of the level, any of the badges you've earned, and the other badges that are available for you to get based on doing certain types of tasks or a number of tasks, a number of hours or points. So check back often because there'll be a number of different badges you can get depending on what's going on in the facility at the moment. Last but not least, you can check out the leaderboard and you can see how you're competing against other members. In this case, the test user is beating me, and I look forward to a lot of you beating me as well in the near future. Now that we've walked through completing a task that already exists end to end, I'd like to show you how to add your own task. Now, for any type of volunteering you're doing, you should be adding your task, adding your hours into the system. This allows for the membership discount, but also tracks your awards. So again, this is something you want to do every time you're doing something of value within the facility. Now simply go add a task, type in the name, estimated hours, the deadline date you think it needs to be done. If you don't necessarily think you can complete it yourself within a particular day, that's fine. Add the detailed description of it, and then answer a couple questions. And this is about prioritizing it on our task list. Is it going to help reduce ongoing expenses? 1 being not really, 5 being absolutely. Does it reduce one-time expenses? Add benefits to the entire shop, to multiple machines, to a singular popular machine like the ShopBot, for example. Not so popular machines. Again, this is subjective perhaps, but again, helps with some additional weighting. Additional member benefits. So things that help the facility in general, like signage, or nice to have, member awareness like a sign or a poster. The whole point of these is to help prioritize and weight. If you answer these questions honestly, when we see the open task list, we'll have a relative positioning of the most important tasks to do. This will be enhanced in the future, but this is where we're starting at the moment. Once you've created a task, you hit submit, and again, wait for member council approval. Once your task has been approved, you'll receive a notification saying that the test, in this case, the test task has been published, and you'll be able to see the volunteers on the site. From here now, you can contribute your hours, apply for ownership, invite other users, or add comments. And the cycle starts over again. The whole point here is not only to solve tasks that have already been added, but to create your own tasks, get creative, and find different ways of supporting the shop. So from here, we've talked about open tasks. We've walked you through that concept. We've looked at your completed tasks and voting for most valuable volunteers. We've talked about adding a task, and then also your leaderboard and stats for checking about how your progress is going. So that is the introduction to Volunteer AW. Thank you very much.